These AFL players' careers were never the same after one incident, whether it was from their own terrible decisions or a minor mistake that got blown out of proportion. Today, we're going to discuss them all. Starting with Sydney Stack, who broke AFL protocol so badly that it cost his club tens of thousands of dollars. In his debut season in 2019, you couldn't watch a Richmond game without hearing the name Sydney Stack. Far from your average AFL player, he was an exciting, high-flying, versatile player who could play in every position on the ground. Stack even came third for the 2019 Rising Star Award with 28 votes. But off the field, he was a bit reckless, and it all caught up to him towards the end of the 2020 season. Stack and his teammate Callum Coleman-Jones were caught outside the AFL's Gold Coast hub, a no-go zone meant to protect the league from the pandemic. The pair started the weekend by partying at an AFL-approved location, since Richmond had a bye that week. But then, they decided to go down the streets of Surfers Paradise to get some kebabs. During their trip for a midnight snack, things took an unexpected turn when a fight broke out, forcing Stack and Coleman-Jones to defend themselves. This attracted heaps of attention and even got the Queensland Police involved. If not for the scuffle, the AFL wouldn't have even known that the two players had left their rooms. The consequences were harsh. Richmond got slapped with a $100,000 fine, and both players were sent back to Victoria with 10-match bans. For Coleman-Jones, this wasn't a big deal, as he hadn't played a single game that year. However, it was a different story for Stack, who'd been a regular on the team. The 10-match ban meant he missed out on Richmond's 2020 final series and their ultimate premiership win over Geelong at the Gabba. This was especially tough for Stack, who had already missed the Tigers' 2019 premiership due to a serious calf injury just a year prior. Unfortunately, this off-the-field incident marked the beginning of more troubles for Stack. In 2021, the then 22-year-old got dropped from the main squad and later removed from the team at the end of the season. To make matters worse, at the beginning of 2023, Stack got convicted of drunk driving without a license and was fined $1,000. Hopefully another AFL team gives the young star a chance in the future, as he still has so much potential waiting to be fulfilled. But unlike Sydney Stack, I doubt any club will give Elijah Taylor another chance due to two huge mistakes he made. But before his troubles, the young Swan was showing promising progress in his AFL career. After missing the first 6 rounds of the 2020 season, Taylor played in the Swans' Round 7 match against Gold Coast, and his 9 disposals were enough to earn him 3 more appearances that year. Unfortunately, he got dropped for Sydney's Round 11 game against GWS and hasn't played in the AFL since. The first incident happened in August of 2020, when Taylor invited his partner to visit him in Western Australia, breaching the quarantine zone without permission from the AFL or the Western Australian government. As a result, the 19-year-old was suspended for the rest of the season, and Sydney got fined $50,000, with half of that suspended. Elijah Taylor would likely have returned to play for the Swans in 2021, after his suspension, but that didn't happen. In mid-September, Taylor pleaded guilty to assault against his ex-girlfriend, getting fined $5,000 and picking up a conviction. But the worst part was yet to come, because when the Swans found out about Taylor's crimes, they immediately kicked him off the team. To make matters worse, the AFL slapped him with a 1-year ban. Taylor really let down the red and white, the club that took a chance on him in the 2019 draft at pick 36. Even if he'd just been delisted, another AFL team might have given him a shot. Unfortunately for the teenager, he had completely ruined his reputation, making it impossible for any AFL club to even consider him. Nowadays, he's playing with East Perth in the Waffle. Despite his manager saying Taylor's in a better place mentally, his desire to return to the AFL is uncertain. Will Elijah Taylor make a comeback to the AFL in the future? Nobody knows. But if you think Elijah Taylor's career had a rough patch, wait until you hear about Ben Cousins. You probably know him as the guy who won the Brownlow Medal in 2005, bagged the Rising Star Award in 1996, and was a 6-time All-Australian. He even led West Coast to their 3rd ever premiership in 2006. But things went south for Cousins during the 2007 season with the Eagles. He only played 7 games, a significant drop from his usual number of appearances. Turns out he got caught using illegal substances and, in an attempt to fix things, went to a rehab centre in the US. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and by October, West Coast had kicked him out. To make things even worse, the AFL slapped the 29-year-old with a 12-month suspension, after being busted with illegal substances once again. Cousins went from an AFL hero to a criminal pretty fast. After missing the entire 2008 season, Ben Cousins' future in the AFL seemed uncertain as the 2009 season approached. Even with everything he'd done, the Richmond Tigers gave him a chance and he played decently for them. However, he could never reach the exceptional form he had with the Eagles. Cousins retired at the end of 2010, but his life took a dark turn afterwards. Struggling with addiction, he faced numerous issues like police encounters, hefty fines, hospital stays, car crashes, homelessness, and eventually jail time. Even though Ben Cousins' career slowly crumbled over the years, it was that split-second decision to start using illegal substances that not only ended his career, but also completely ruined his entire life. Now, we witness the unfortunate downfall of another premiership player, Brian Lake, whose career disappeared right in front of his eyes in just seconds. Playing a crucial defensive role in Hawthorn's historic 2013 to 2015 three-peat, Lake's journey to stardom is one of the most interesting stories in the AFL. His road to the league wasn't like most. Despite having the skills, most AFL clubs overlooked him because he had a tendency to doze off during interviews. The Bulldogs, however, recognised that this was due to a sleeping disorder and snagged him with the 71st pick in the 2001 draft. During his impressive 11 seasons with the Bulldogs and an additional 3 with the Hawks, Lake established himself as one of the game's best key defenders. In the 251 games he played, he consistently locked down the other team's best full forwards week after week. Lake's greatest achievement came in 2013 when he won the Norm Smith Medal in Hawthorn's grand final win over Fremantle. Yet, Lake's career wasn't without its setbacks. He accumulated a whopping 19 matches worth of suspensions, exceeding the league's 16 match limit that could have led to a lifetime ban from football. Luckily, AFL players get a 25% discount on the rule, and so Lake was just 1 match away from his 20-game limit in 2019. But during a local Victorian League match between Caroline Springs, Lake's team, and Sunshine Football Club, everything changed. The 37-year-old received a 2-match ban for striking, pushing his total suspensions to 21 games, exceeding the allowed limit. Lake argued that when players switched to local footy, their AFL suspensions should be wiped clean, a rule that would have saved him. Unfortunately, his appeal was unsuccessful, and he hasn't played local league football since. Which other AFL players do you think ruined their careers in seconds? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.